The late night silence of the bedroom was broken along with a rustling sound. Paul couple, Mr. Shibopada Pal and Mrs. Nirmala Pal, were sleeping in their bedroom at the first floor of the Shivalaya apartment in the Maheshtala suburb near Kolkata. The sound is sharper and more noticeable this time. Mrs. Pal woke up and spotted a black snake in the blue light of the night lamp with its hood fully spread at their bedside. The rustling sound of the movement of the snake was clearly audible over the slow ticking of the wall clock and snoring of Mr. Pal. The serpent was roughly 3 feet in length. The snake suddenly bit in the foot of Mr. Pal, and before Mrs. Pal could even react, travelled backwards swiftly and quickly went out through the window and then travelled upwards. Mr. Pal was writhing in agony as the venom already started spreading throughout his body. Mrs. Pal got panicked and started screaming. The suddenness of the incident provided little time for anyone to save Mr. Pal. Although Mrs. Nirmala saw everything happen before her eyes and elder son Showman took him to the local hospital by his own car, it was too late. The family physician wasn't available immediately and it was a quite venomous snake. The mortal remains of Mr. Pal were brought at their flat the next morning. Sadness engulfed Shivalaya apartment. Family members were mourning his demise at that moment. While all this were going on, Private Detective Meghnad Bharadwaj and his friend cum assistant Mr. Arnob arrived there. The dead body was laid upon the floor over a cushion. The dead body had already become stiff and its color was blue due to snake venom. His dead body was kept surrounded by family members, neighbors and the caretaker of the flat. Meghnad inspected the body and commented, "I am convinced that death was due to snake bite. 2 bite marks on the foot substantiate this fact." Mrs. Nirmala Pal was sobbing. She said, "As the snake bit him just before me, I just looked on helplessly, Meghnad sir." Meghnad stood up and asked, "As I can see, there is nothing to be investigated in this case. So Gaurav Babu, why did you call me to look into this case?" Gaurav Mitra quite confidently replied, "I am sure, sir, that this case has something to be investigated. I can discuss the matter only with you." Listening this, the elder son of Mr. Shibopada Pal, Showman, derisively said, "It seems like the aunt is more concerned than the mother is." Gaurav replied, "You can say whatever you can. As I have been loyal to sir for quite a long time, it's important for me to give justice to him. I know that I can trust Detective Meghnad Bharadwaj for finding out clues and conducting the investigation correctly." Meghnad silently stared at Gaurav Mitra for a few moments and said, "Mr. Mitra, I didn't get your point. What's mysterious inside this death? Please share your thoughts with me." Gaurav felt encouraged and first cleared his throat and started speaking. "Observe that a venomous snake entered through the window of the bedroom at the first floor, bit a particular person and went out through the window. Is it a natural incident?" Arnob said, "Maybe the snake was a pet snake and somebody used it." Mr. Gaurav replied, "I don't know whether it's possible. In that case also this needs to be investigated, right?" While all these conversations were going on, an elderly man standing outside the room was listening to them. He slowly stepped in the room and very hesitantly said, "Dear sir, may I tell you one thing if you allow me to do so?" Meghnad asked, "Who are you?" Showman, Shibopada Pal's son, said, "He is quite old servant in our family. His name is Hori Kaka." Showman turned to Hori and said, "Hori Kaka, what do you want to tell in this matter?" Hori slowly uttered, "Does anybody remember that particular day?" I remembered. Showman curiously asked, "Which day?" Hori started saying, "It was 20 years ago. Do you remember? You were quite young then. A property dispute started between your father and uncle. Your uncle, my elder master, wasn't willing in constructing an apartment by handing over their ancestral house to a promoter. On the other side, his younger brother, that is your father, my younger master, disagreed with him and put the house on promotion with the help of a promoter whom he knew. While demolishing the house, the Mashans found a snake's nest at one corner of the garden. Those snakes were cohabitating peacefully with the residents of this house. They never bit anybody, neither did they harm anybody. Despite the objection and resistance of your uncle, the Mashans destroyed the nest of the snakes. They demolished the nests with shovels and killed several snakes by beating them with sticks. Your uncle was deeply pained and frustrated due to this incident. He departed with his wife and son. He never returned here afterwards." Meghnad patiently listened to Hori and then said, "Do you know the whereabouts of your elder master?" Hori promptly replied, "No, sir. He didn't give any address to me. As far as I know, he didn't maintain relationship with his younger brother afterwards." Showman said with disregard, "Hori Kaka, do you think that the cohabitating, somewhat so-called domestic snake's spirit became a ghost, returned and bit my father? It's all bogus." Meghnad listened carefully and said, "Whatever may be the cause of the incident, the body first needs to be sent for post-mortem. We need to inform the police also." Meghnad dialed a number in his phone and spoke with somebody. "Hello? Inspector Talapatro? Yes, it's Meghnad here. Okay, please send the personnel at Shibalaya apartment." After this, Meghnad started interacting with the residents of the apartment. Shibalaya apartment was a 3-storied building. Shibopada Babu's flat was itself occupying the lion's share of the first floor. In the adjacent 1 BHK flat, Bijoy Gurung, a Nepali person, was staying along with his widow mother. At the second floor, there were 2 adjacent flats. 2 families were staying there. In one flat, Mr. Rajat Chatterjee and his wife were staying, while in the other, Mr. Sanjay De was staying with his wife and son. Meghnad couldn't meet Mr. Rajat as he was out of station due to occupational purposes. His wife told that he had gone to Singapore. He usually used to stay in such official trips most of the time, according to her. Mr. Sanjay De, the secretary of the apartment, spoke to Meghnad for some time. Meghnad said, "Mr. De, what's your personal opinion in this case?" Sanjay De said, "It seems to be a simple case of snake bite and related death." Meghnad said, "Do you have CCTV cameras installed in your apartment?" Sanjay said, "Yes, we have. However, we can't install those inside bedrooms, obviously." Meghnad agreed with him. Meghnad and Arnob had a walk at the small garden at the backyard of the apartment. Few flower plants were there, although not quite properly maintained. It was maintained by caretaker Mr. Jagannath Guchait. On Meghnad's request, Horikaka showed them the place where the nest of the domestic snakes once existed. However, that place presently doesn't have a snake hole. A star fruit tree laden with yellow fruits was standing there. Meanwhile, during Meghnad and Arnob were making these observations over an hour or so, Inspector Rangolal Talapatro arrived there with his police team. Inspector Talapatro listened to the matter and important observations from Meghnad. Then, according to the protocol, he examined the body, took photographs from various angles by the police photographer and sent the body for post-mortem. Then, he said, "Meghnad Babu, If this really is a murder, then who will be benefited the most in Shibopada Babu's absence? Meghnad replied, his two sons and his wife. They'll get his entire property in his absence. Tolapatro said. I met Showman, the elder son of Mr. Pal. What about the younger one? I have not seen him yet. I learned that he is staying in Bangalore due to occupational purposes. He'll arrive here soon. Showman supported Meghnad by nodding his head. Meghnad got up from the sofa and said, it's already 1 p.m. and our investigational work is over for today. Arnab, let's leave now. By the way, Inspector Tolapatro, once you get the report after the postmortem, please share it with me over WhatsApp. Sure. Inspector Tolapatro smiled and extended his hand for a handshake. The next morning, as Meghnad and Arnab were waiting for the postmortem report, Inspector Tolapatro called. Hello, Meghnad Babu. Bad news. Another murder took place. This one also happened due to snake bite. Meghnad, a little bit shocked, but steadily said, My God, who's the victim this time? It's Showman, the elder son of Mr. Shibopadopal. The body is still at their home. Will you please come once? Yes, sure. Meghnad and Arnab reached Shibalaya apartment within 1 hour. Inspector Tolapatro, with a serious face, was waiting outside. Meghnad Babu, please come. This time the incident occurred in the staircase. Showman Babu, as he was returning from some work outside, during climbing up the staircase, was bitten by a snake at his ankle. The body of Mr. Showman Pal was lying at the last step of the staircase before the first floor. His body had turned blue already due to the snake venom. Meanwhile, Meghnad noticed an unfamiliar face at the Pal's drawing room. That young man said, Meghnad sir, I am Shoikot, the younger son of late Mr. Shibopadopal. Believe me, we couldn't even get a hint of Showman's death. I found him in this condition at the time of closing the main gate around 11 o'clock last night. Meghnad once looked at Inspector Tolapatro. Tolapatro said, Shoikot arrived here yesterday afternoon from Bengaluru. Shoikot was looking devastated. He said, I arrived here within few hours of getting the information of my father's death. Within less than 24 hours, again this incident. By the time Mr. Sanjay De arrived there too. Meghnad said, Mr. De, as you told, there are CCTV cameras installed in this apartment, right? Sanjay said, yes sir. CCTV cameras were installed in every floor over the past few months. Little bit of observation found one CCTV camera at the upper landing of the staircase. Meghnad said, can we get the recordings of last night? Yes, Sanjay said, it should be available. It has been serviced only a month ago. Sanjay, Inspector Tolapatro, Meghnad, Arnab and Shoikot went to the CCTV operation room. The room was beside the room of the caretaker. It was kept under lock and key. By that time, Mr. Gaurav Mitro, office secretary of Mr. Shibopadopal, also arrived there. He was quite excited. He said, Sir, as you can understand, my intuition was correct and there must be a mystery behind these deaths. By that time, apartment secretary Mr. Sanjay De started rewinding previous evening footages from the staircase landing CCTV camera. Starting from 7 p.m., several persons were seen climbing up and down the stairs. After the bright lamp of the landing was turned off after 10 p.m., in the footage of around 10:30 p.m., Showman Pal was seen climbing up the stairs towards first floor. As he stepped on the final step, he collapsed on the stair, and after writhing in agony for some time, he stopped moving. Meghnad said, Sanjay Babu, please rewind it a little before and play it in slow motion, please. Sanjay rewinded the video a little bit, and it was seen that Mr. Showman Pal was coming upstairs while a snake was following him along the staircase. It was almost 3 feet in length thick and black colored. Its exposed fangs were visible, along with the divided tongue. The eyes of the snake were exceptionally glowing. The snake followed Showman Pal, beat him behind his feet, then returned quite rapidly along the stairs, went out through the landing window and disappeared upwards. Inspector Tolapatro commented, "This much is enough evidence. Mr. Showman was also bitten by the snake, similar to his father. Horikaka supported him. As I told you before, it's the revenge of the domestic snakes." Meghnad seemed to be quite steady. He said, "Mr. Sanjay, could you please zoom the head of the snake a bit?" Sanjay Babu paused the video and zoomed the clip so that the head of the snake could be viewed a little better. Meghnad quite curiously looked at the footage. Suddenly he seemed a little bit interested. He said, "The eyes of the snake are unusually bright. Has anybody noticed? Arnab?" Arnab said, "Maybe, but why that's important here?" Meghnad didn't answer. Instead, he just clicked a photo of the snake in his phone and said, "Sanjay Babu, could you please show me once the direction in which the snake went back?" On rewinding the CCTV footage, it was visible that after biting Mr. Showman, the snake first went out through the landing window and then went upwards. After this, everyone came out, locking the server room. Meghnad invited Inspector Tolapatro at the tea table that evening. In the evening, when Inspector Tolapatro reached the flat of Meghnad, Arnab and Meghnad were watching TV at that time. Inspector Tolapatro said, "Meghnad Babu, have you seen the netizens are mentioning this incident as the revenge of domestic snakes?" Meghnad said, "I don't believe in such superstitions at all." However, Meghnad pulled out a postcard-sized photo from his pocket. The head of the snake from the video footage was shown quite clearly in that photo. "What do you infer from this photo, Mr. Tolapatro?" Tolapatro said, "Nothing new. It's the head of a killer cobra with the fangs visible inside the gaping mouth. The tongue is also visible." "What about the eyes? Look properly." Arnab and Tolapatro both looked at it with interest. "Arnab, have you got any point?" Meghnad said. "Nothing, except that the eyes are shining a little more." "Yes, those eyes will surely shine a little more. Those aren't natural eyes. There are lenses fixed there," Meghnad said. "Lenses? What do you mean, Meghnad Babu?" "That means robotic snake," Arnab said. "Bravo, Arnab, you are correct." Meghnad seemed excited. "So, as you understand, the serial killings have actually been carried out using robotic snake. In this situation, as I previously told you, okay?" Inspector Tolapatro promptly answered. "Don't worry, Meghnad Babu. I already informed Shoikat Babu the direction given by you." He agreed. Meghnad seriously said, "Good. Keep in mind that the next target of the snake is Shoikat. We will trap the murderer tonight only." Inspector Tolapatro left. Meghnad said, "Arnab, get ready." Both of them changed clothes and went out. First, they went to the local police station near Maheshtola, and Inspector Tolapatro provided them with 2 sets of police uniforms. After wearing those, both of them had to put on some makeups like moustache, beards, glasses. They took 2 fiber sticks in hand and sat on 2 stools outside Shivalaya apartment. The setup seemed like a police picket only. Inspector Tolapatro said, "Don't move, stay alert always. Nobody should enter from here." In reply, Meghnad said, "Okay, boss," and started preparing the tobacco usually consumed by the Bihari policemen on duty. After Tolapatro left, Arnab said, "Meghnad, you have still kept me in dark about tonight's plan. Tell me a little bit." Meghnad said with a smile, "You will get to know at the right time." As the time ticked on and the ding-dong of the wall clock signified that it was 11 o'clock, Meghnad suddenly became little bit alert and spoke to somebody over his mobile phone in a whispering tone. Arnav was trying to figure out what's going on. However, from his previous experiences, he knew that Meghnad usually became reticent during the extreme moments of the operations. Another hour passed. Suddenly, Meghnad's mobile rang. After receiving the call and speaking over the phone, he suddenly became restless and excited. He said, "Arnav, come with me." Both of them started going upstairs till the roof, while Meghnad pulled his revolver out of his pocket. The door of the roof was kept ajar. As Meghnad stealthily opened the door and entered the room, Arnav followed him. There was very little light available as the crescent moon in the sky was providing too little light. The roof was dimly visible. A person standing near the parapet on the other side was visible, like a silhouette. He was facing at the opposite side and doing something. Meghnad started approaching towards him stealthily, but the person sensed his light steps despite sufficient precautions. Immediately he sprang up and took cover behind the water tank. Meghnad raised his voice. "Mr. Bhujangalal, I have busted your plan. Come out, surrender." In reply, that person derisively laughed. Ha ha ha. Arnav wasn't able to understand who he was. Suddenly Arnav spotted that a thickish, deep black colored snake, about 3 feet in length, rushing towards them. Two sharp fangs were visible inside its gaping mouth, while its eyes were blazing. It was rushing towards Meghnad. Arnav screamed, "Meghnad, look!" Meghnad immediately fired from his revolver and crushed the head of the snake with accurate aim. However, this wasn't the end. Another one snake. It was seen rushing from another angle. It was already murky and the snake was frequently changing its direction. Meghnad fired but missed twice. The snake came precariously close to Meghnad's feet and was about to bite. Arnav first tried to alert Meghnad, then himself performed a courageous act. He pounced on the snake, gripped its tail and dashed it to the ground. The body of the snake shattered on the roof. He himself seemed to be a different person doing this courageous act. Meanwhile, the person named Bhujangopal, who was controlling the robotic snake, took advantage of their distraction and attempted to get away by going down the stairs. However, he couldn't. He had to return to the roof with hands up, held at gunpoint by Inspector Rangolal Tolapatro. Shoikat, the younger son of Shibapada Pal, was also with them. Bhujangopal was holding the controller machine operating the snakes. Once they reached the roof and Shoikat turned the light on, the face of the culprit was clearly visible. It's none other than Shibalaya apartment caretaker Jagannath Guchai. As Shoikat Pal got surprised, Meghnad said with a gentle smile, "You may know him by the identity of Jagannath Guchai, the apartment caretaker, but his actual name is Mr. Bhujangopal, the only son of your uncle, Mr. Vishnupada Pal." Bhujango confessed with arrogance, "Yes, I am Bhujangopal. Shoikat's dad deceived my father 20 years ago and usurped the entire property himself. So I wanted to destroy the entire family of this Shibapada Pal." Inspector Tolapatro gave him a heavy rebuke, put handcuffs on and took him in custody. The rest of the discussions took place at Pal family drawing room with flavored tea prepared by Showman's wife. Meghnad sipped tea and said, "Shoikat survived a close shave that day. Fortunately, I kept a dummy in his bed that night instead of him. The robotic snake bit the dummy only." Arnav said, "So Shoikat called you immediately and we rushed to the roof, right? Nice enacted drama." Ha ha ha. Meghnad smiled. "Another drama could only be countered with a drama only, right? However, one crime gives birth to another crime also." "What do you mean?" "Means Shibapada Babu deceived and compelled Vishnupada Babu, his elder brother, to leave on trivial issues from their ancestral house 20 years ago. To avenge that crime, Vishnupado's son Bhujangopal impersonated as caretaker at Shivaloy apartment and has been staying here since last 5 years and also spinning the web of conspiracy. He thought that nobody would suspect. Everybody would consider these as snake bites only. He thus planned to finish the entire family of Shivapada and complete his mission. I got informed that he is a diploma engineer in electronics. He used his skill. Meghnad sipped tea. In addition, the superstition of domestic snake also worked. Meghnad held the shoulders of Horikaka. Horikaka, don't believe that those snakes are still cursing this family. It's sheer vengeance of humans, which is equally venomous like snake venom. Meghnad turned to Arnab. Arnab, let us go. Our mission is complete. Inspector Tolapatro shook hands with them. Shoykot dropped them by his own car and invited for dinner also.